Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to Planet Explorers. I've been leveling out some terrain back here and down below in preparation for putting down some colony buildings. I'm so excited. Definitely want to get this stuff going, especially once we get power down. I can start recharging the helicopter, which I've been using a lot. Now, as you can see, we've got the mansion up here. Now, I had talked to a number of you about how to handle the building in this run of the game, and what I decided to do was break the building out into its own two-part episode. So you can check that out. Two videos called Build Days, the Beach House Part 1 and Part 2. But for those who didn't want to watch me build the whole thing, but did want to see the new place, we're going to do a little fly around here. So I'm going to back this out and give you the overall quick view. We got a W above the door, kind of cool little entryway, and a dock. I built the kind of the support of the house and everything all the way down, even underwater, and that goes for the dock as well. You can see that here. And I have glass in most of the windows, but not all of them. We still need to do more there. And then since those episodes, I also have started working on this side as well. So we're going to kind of do another building next to this one, not connected to it, that will maybe do an L shape or something. I'm not quite sure yet. And then, of course, also in that episode, or those episodes, I did stairs, or these ramps, essentially, coming up to this building where I threw the bed in for now. And, of course, then we get all the way back around to the top where we will be doing the colony. Now, you notice the helicopter pad is gone. I actually took that out because I wanted to put the power station right here, and the helicopter pad was pretty much right up against it, and so we're going to move that. I'm not entirely sure where. I know somebody recommended putting it on the roof, and I had thought about that, but I didn't really want to like tarnish the look of the building by putting the helicopter pad up there. Additionally, I don't have ladders down or anything, so I've had to jump off the roof when I've landed there, and that's been okay, but it's probably not the best solution. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is, if I run over here, I'm kind of thinking about, let's jump down these. So I'm building this out. It's probably going to be a deck, or it may be the beginning of the building. I'm not sure, the beginning of the building that's coming over here. But what I was thinking I could do is actually make a helicopter pad out in the water, kind of like its own little island, and then it would just have a little, I'm gonna say bridge, a little platform connecting it to the dock or the deck that runs around the house, one of the two. So I could build it actually off of the dock out there as well. But anyway, we'll figure that out later. But for now, let's get to the colony building. That's the exciting part, right? Okay, so I've got this, I have these two areas leveled out. I thought about putting down stone as kind of like a flooring for this, but I already have enough of that going on with the buildings, and I do intend on doing more buildings, so I don't really want to overdo it. And I thought, you know, let's start with just the natural ground, and then later I can change that if I want. So the first thing we need to do is put down the assembly core. This is a building that basically, there will be this grid. You'll actually see if I drag this out, it creates this kind of grid showing the area. Now, all of the buildings require the assembly core to be put up, and the buildings need to be within that area. So this is something we're probably going to put right up around here. And then down below here, I chose this place for the power station very intentionally. If I drag this out here, you can see the area around it which can be powered, and that basically, to the right, it runs right up to the building I have up here, which I don't need power in. So this kind of puts it right in a spot where it can reach right up to the building but doesn't go over it, and then I can build all around this thing. There's room. I may have to level some terrain out, but we can do that. So let's do this. I've got a little bit more area back here, so I think this is where we'll put the assembly core. Let's see. And I believe I can actually leave this open and go into free mode here, so I could really pan out to place things. Let's see, let's back this up a bit. Okay, so let's see the assembly core. Oh, I guess it snaps me back down here. Okay, well here reaches very far. You can see it goes all the way out to the dock, halfway into it. It goes to the right very far. It goes to the left really far. In fact, let's turn this here. So you can see it even goes out into the water. So the placement of this one isn't as important. This encompasses, it's going to encompass most of the island. So I think this is probably a cool spot here. So let's do that. I'm going to put it out towards the front of my leveled out area, something like that. Cool. Now, in case you're wondering about this grid that's kind of surrounding our island and whether that is something that always has to be there, it doesn't. We can actually open the assembly core, and there's a checkbox here that says Hide Static Shield Visualization. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. We have the assembly core. Let me get a little something to eat here so I can move around. Okay, so there's that. Very cool. That's just kind of hanging out here, hanging out outside. And let's get in the power station because we really need to charge the helicopter. In all the building I've been doing lately, I've been fast traveling around the map, but I've also been using the helicopter as well. And that thing is just about out of power. Cool. So there we've got the power grid down, and we can actually walk up to this guy and open it. And there we go. We've got supplies left. We've got the coal in here that's going to be burning. Let's go ahead and open our inventory. And here's the Choppa 2. And you can see the fuel is at 785 out of 28,000. So quite low. I think I could make a trip over to the NPCs north of me, there and back. I think that's about all it has left. So we'll take this guy, drop him in there, and look at that. That thing's going to recharge pretty quick. So there we go. We've got the initial 2 buildings down. Now, one of the things that's been happening as well, during all the building of the mansion and this building up here, I was gathering a lot of resources. And as such, I ended up selling some of those to purchase glass. Glass was very expensive. So I was buying glass and selling off resources. And so I now have just about 10,000 meat in this stack. And then I've got another stack of 950. So I've got a little bit over 10,000. So we can actually buy another, probably another couple buildings. So I think that's what we want to do next. Let's check in on our helicopter here. There we go, 100%. That's what we're looking for. Close this out, and we'll just go drop the helicopter down here somewhere. I don't want it to slide off and fall in any water. It's okay if it moves a little bit. Let's do this here. Okay, jump in this guy. There we go. Quite full of fuel. So let's go ahead and we're going to fly over to the NPCs north of here and see what they got for us. Okay, we're here with our buddy Ataro. Let's talk to him. Now we've already got the assembly core and the power plant. We do have a storage unit, and of course this lets us store things. And some of these buildings, I don't quite remember what they do. And I know that you can involve NPCs in going out. You can basically task NPCs, walk them out to places and tell them to work. And then they will gather material. So I think like with the storage thing, I think they bring material back to that. But I don't remember on a lot of this stuff. It's been a long time since I looked into any of this. And in fact, it's been long enough that it could have changed. So one of the things I know for sure is I want the repair station so that you can, as you can see, we've got our shovel down here and it is damaged. So it'd be nice to repair that. And I'm not going to go with scripts. Money is not really an issue at this point. So we're just going to go ahead and buy that. And let's see, the next thing I want to do, again, I don't remember what the enhanced machine does or the recycle. I'm not quite sure. I mean, recycle might break something down into its component material. I don't quite recall. And then we have the replicator. The replicator. We have the incubator, and we have the dwelling beds. So we got a number of things to choose from here. I think that's all there is here, though. Yes, well, the repair station was the big thing, and I don't need to buy all of these right now. I think we're going to stick with the repair station, and we'll go ahead and grab the recycling, because why not? And let's see, we could do the enhanced machine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and grab that. So anyway, we've got these 3 buildings, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead, fly back. I am going to figure out where I'm going to place those, and then we'll take a look at what we've got. So let's go ahead and get the helicopter out here. That's not a valid location. Somewhere over there. And we will head back to the mansion. Now if I jump in here, I can show you the flyby of the mansion. Get this thing airborne. Try not to go in the water. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. As you can see, it's just a short little flight over. No big deal. And let's check it out. The mansion does take a minute to load in as we get over here. There you go. Look at that. Very cool looking, especially at sunset. One of the big reasons why I moved over here was wanting that West Coast sunset. Feels like home. Very cool. So yeah, we're going to have to get a landing pad, and maybe a landing pad out here. You know, maybe where I am here with a little strip that walks me over to the deck over there might be cool. Something along those lines, but for now we're just going to go ahead and put this down here somewhere. We'll probably damage this a little bit, but that's alright. Try to slow this down here, slow our descent. There we go. Get that thing. Now one of the things I want to look at, I actually didn't look at previously, was can we turn this power grid off as well, just like the one for the assembly core. No, maybe not. Yeah, I don't see anything. It's unfortunate. Well, it's not too big a deal. It would be nice to be able to turn this off, but that's fine. That's fine. So let's go ahead, and we've got this area that I've got flattened out up here is probably as good a place as any to start placing this stuff. We are starting to lose light, but let's just take a peek real quick. We've got the repair machine, which is not that big, so that's cool. And we have, what else do we have? I'm just realizing, what script is that? Didn't even know I had that. So the repair machine, okay, that's the enhance machine. Okay, so none of these are really that big. We could put these just about anywhere. In fact, I think I'll kind of line them up next to each other and start out here at the end of my flattened area. And we'll start with probably the enhance machine. I'm trying to think of what I'll be using the least, at least initially. Cool, we'll do that, and I think we'll go ahead and turn this guy. Yeah. Actually, you know what, let's turn it one more time. Kind of put its back to the building back there. I think that's what we'll do with all of these. Recycle machine. We'll go next to it. I think we can just leave that one as it is. And finally, the repair machine, which we are going to turn. There we go. Not quite lined up with the other guy, but I may move some of this stuff around, but I think we'll leave it here for now. So I can hit E here, and we can take, let's see, just move the shovel back into here. So we've got this damaged shovel. We can, or at least I thought we could set it in there. There's a smaller recycle machine back at the with the NPCs. There we go. Cool. So we can, let's see, I think we can just hit OK. The recycle machine with the NPCs over at Alan's camp is a smaller kind of window. It doesn't actually open in the colony window. I think we just hit OK here. Let's just do that. Yes, there we go. Okay. Drag this guy out. Did that not get repaired? Oh, we have to wait for that thing. Huh. There's the timer. Time needed. I was looking up here. I was like, where's the time happening? Okay, so we have 11 minutes. Now, that's one of the other benefits of getting NPCs involved. And that's probably what some of this stuff is here. It's indicating who's here. But I believe you can, for example, if you've got 11 minutes or so on this timer, if you have NPCs working it, you can cut that in half, something like 5 minutes. I'm not really in a hurry for any of this stuff, though, so that's totally fine. It'd be nice if there was an indication this was in use. I think this arm moves no matter what, but yeah, that'd be cool if there was some other indication. I'm going to go check out the assembly core real quick. Okay. So this is pulling out of my inventory, I assume. Go to my resource. I'm not going to be able to tell because I don't really focus on... Well, I guess you can tell. I have 210 and it's showing 210. and 831 iron. So this is powering the shield out there. Let's see, what do we add? Durability 6,000. That's, oh, the durability went down because I placed and pulled it back up. It took 10% out. I did that like a couple times. So anyway, this is actually the upgrade for it. So we could upgrade it and take a while by spending these materials. Plastic. For some reason, I initially thought this was the pigment. I was like, why do you need pigment? We're not painting the shield. So we have chipsets. That's cool. And I'm guessing that's about it. Maybe for level 1 that's it, and then as you get higher there it starts to require more materials. But it actually looks like we could upgrade this. Let's see, what is this saying here? Let's see. Okay, this is just in total. Okay, so anyway, I'm not entirely sure right now what this is indicating as far as upgrading the shield. I don't know if I'm missing material here or if there's simply no other material required. I'm assuming because we have green on these materials we're good, and the chipsets I don't have. That's probably what's happening. If I had the chipsets, this would probably light up. That's something we can actually try real quick. I think I can make those. Let's see, max I can make is 10. Let's go ahead and make 3, because we want to experiment and see what this is all about. Okay, now I have 3 in my inventory. That is lit up, and yes, now the upgrade button is lit up, so that's all we need. Right now I'm not going to upgrade that. We're not really worried about the shield. I'm not being assaulted yet. So anyway, we're just going to go ahead and leave that. No sense in upgrading. So there we go. We've got a good bit of the colony buildings down. I'm very happy to be able to power up the helicopter once again. That's very cool. I think the next thing to do might be to start making some vehicles, but I'll probably cover those in another build episode. So in the meantime, I've got a couple other things I want to do, but we're going to go ahead and crash. It's getting dark, it's time to sleep, so let's do just that. Okay, well the sun's up, so we're up, and I'm realizing that we didn't walk through a couple of these other things. Now, one of the things I did not notice until I slept was that when you put in a tool in here, I slept all through the night. It told me that there were 11 minutes left, and it was the shovel I had in there. I went to sleep, and when I got up in the morning, the tool was actually, I think it just had like, not very long left. Actually, can't remember. It was like a minute or something, or a few. So, yeah, I basically threw another tool in and did a quick test. It said it had 4 minutes left. I went and jumped in the bed for 1 hour, which just takes, 20 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. Came back down and the tool was repaired. So it's kind of tied a little bit to your world clock. It's not minute to minute, but it is connected there, which is kind of cool. So you could throw things in and crash. Now the recycle machine does exactly what it says it would do. I can actually come in here and take my primary gun right now, stick that in there, and you can see it's going to give us these materials back. We don't really want to do that. Now another thing to note is that I do have the Weem's iron rifle, the one we kind of started with, and if I put that in here, yeah, we get nothing. It has 0 durability, so nothing's happening there, which means we're just going to go ahead and delete that guy. We don't need that anymore. We can't repair it either, so yeah. So anyway, there we go. And in fact, it looks like we can cycle through all of these guys. I was just realizing. I was like, oh yeah, we're in the colony window. So we can actually jump over to the enhance machine. This is pretty sweet. So this can upgrade our equipment by spending some of our resources. So right now we have the Weem cannon, and you can look at the numbers over this thing. Cool, cool. All these guys. I'm looking at attacks here, and okay, so we can actually just drag this guy in here, and you can see that here are the increases that will happen to the weapon if we spend these resources. So I am short. I don't have 2 steel, or I don't have 7 steel. I just have 2. But if I had the 7 steel and the 18 iron, we could get these kind of upgrades, which that's pretty awesome. we definitely want to do that. This also works with other things like the shovel, for example. You can see that its attack goes up, which is not that big a deal, but its durability goes up, which is nice. Can help it last longer. We'll be making some new tools. I've been using iron for a while, and they've been working totally fine, but we'll probably move to steel pretty soon. It's out of sheer laziness that I haven't done that already. So anyway, those are pretty cool. Those are definitely going to help us out. And yeah, I think this is definitely a good start for the colony. Now that I have these out here, I kind of like the idea of putting a platform underneath them. I know I was kind of thinking I wouldn't, but seeing them down now, I almost want to kind of put them on platforms. And I could even use copper. I think copper would be pretty cool. Let's see, copper's 5, and I'll show you why. And that's because it's got kind of that graded look, and so I thought, oh, this would be really cool, especially if I surrounded it in a lighter material, you know, something like that, and put that underneath these guys. So that's the plan. I definitely want to do that. And so maybe we'll get around to that next time. But the thing I would like to say before we take off is that if you wanted to see the building of the mansion and the building behind me here, the construction of all that, do please check out the build days videos. There's only 2 of them to cover everything that I've done here, so check that out. And then future episodes, we're going to do things like, I'll have an episode where I jump in and make a truck, for example, and then we drive it around and do crazy things with it. And another episode, I may make some crazy flying vehicle. And then what's cool is, as long as I consider the materials that I have here, you know, on me in my inventory, I can actually use that ISO and in here and actually construct and use it. So anyway, I'm hoping you guys like the idea of that, those kind of videos, the build day videos, and I hope you check them out. Thanks for stopping in and watching this. I appreciate that, and I will catch you next time.